Okay, everyone, what's up? It is April 4th, 2026. It's been a minute, but we're here, we're back, we're going fishing. Heading out to Area 11. Went out Wednesday for the blackmouth opener, and didn't quite connect to the fish I wanted to. I had one beside the boat that was 21 and a half hatchery, so I'm going to go back out there, work it again, and hopefully we can get some keepers this morning. Okay. I know you guys thought we were doing a fishing video, but as it turns out, I'm not catching any blackmouth in Area 11 in this video. I left the Narrows marina. I got about 200 yards out of the marina and lost fuel pressure on my main motor, which was very disheartening. So anyways, I tinkered around on the water and decided that it wasn't safe, and I didn't want to keep pursuing the fish if we couldn't maintain fuel pressure and the motor kept dying. Got it back on the trailer and brought it back to the house, set up on the hose, and tried to get it to go through its fuel delivery problems again. What I was having was typical, having to keep the primer bulb primed by hand to keep the motor running. RPM didn't necessarily have to do with it. Load didn't have to do with it. It was just fuel burning. I had all cylinders. I felt like I had the ignition on all cylinders. And the main issue was just getting that fuel to the injectors to be launched into the cylinder on time. So here's what I found out. Okay, so at this point in time, I was pretty sure that I had, since it wasn't an air leak, I either had a bad primer bulb or a bad fuel pump, low pressure or high pressure. I didn't know. So what I did is I quickly A/B'd from my kicker. I have a dedicated fuel line from that with a separate primer bulb. So I patched that into the main and I let it run on idle for about about 15 minutes, and it did die again after full prime. And so it was the same symptoms it was having before. So after that, I knew it didn't probably have to do with fuel delivery to the engine. It was probably within the engine, and obviously the VST is harder to get to. So anyways, I wanted to dig in and take a look at the low pressure pump first, which on the Yamahas is just right here. So you have your output here and your input from your fuel filter. Then you just have these two bolts. They're going to be holding that low pressure pump in place. I will show that in just a second. It just comes right here. So all I did was just take these two bolts out, take these clips off, and just pull the pump out and look at it by hand. Here's what that low pressure filter looks like. And it does mount right there. These two bolts just hold it on. So what you can do really quick is just unscrew these bolts just by a few threads while the filter is still on there. And then if the diaphragm is punctured, you'll most likely see gasoline running down this kind of part of the head here where the valves are located and everything. And then you're going to start to see gasoline puddling up down here, and that's how you can know one of those diaphragms is punctured. It's a quick and easy way, and sometimes they get ripped or tears or something like that. Okay, so then you just come back here to the bench. This one's all loose. like that. Your outer diaphragm. Here's your kind of like the check valves, and then here's your plunger and what I guess I'm gonna call the main diaphragm. Basically, this actually looked okay. It was dirty. It had buildup on it, but I didn't see any rips or tears. It's obviously time to replace it. I'm gonna clean all this out, just replace everything. Probably replace the whole assembly. But so anyways, this diaphragm looked okay, and this diaphragm looked okay, and it wasn't leaking gas anywhere. So I was beginning to think it wasn't the low pressure pump at all. I was tinkering with this. I was tinkering with it because I actually haven't pulled this exact model apart, and you can see the plunger. Wait, hold on. Here, wait. Uh-oh, camera. Okay, here we go. You can see that this plunger goes in. Okay. See, the problem is this. Actually, I'm gonna call this plunger over here. This plunger right here is not moving. I'm pushing on the backside, but it is stuck in place. So if I put it on the table and I push down, it's not moving, not moving, not moving. But if I hit it really hard, there we go. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to move like this freely. There we go. See, you know, I'm just gently pushing on it. So that's what was going on. I hope. I'm gonna replace this. You really should replace them every probably 2 to 3 years, honestly. But I just don't think that plunger was acting appropriately. It didn't necessarily have a rip. It was just seized in place. I don't know exactly why it seized in place, but it did, and that's at least part of my problem. So anyways, sorry I'm not catching fish in this video, but if someone is running out of gas, having to run their primer bulb to keep their boat motoring, and you have a Yamaha outboard, definitely just take a look at that, and hopefully this will be helpful to someone. First step, loosen the bolts, see if gasoline comes out, drips out. Second step, just pull it apart, look at the diaphragms. At that point, I would just replace it. So anyways, we will get after some more fish, but that's all I got for right now.